Sorry, I got caught off on part of that last video, but remember with quadratics, you will always have two solutions, and so for this one we have -9 and +6. Moving on to one more example, I need standard form, so I'm going to move the 3x and the 10 over. So I'll have x squared plus 3x minus 28 equals 0, so I can set up my x. I want two numbers that multiply to -28 and add to 3. Well, that would be +7 and -4. So my two factors are going to be x plus 7 and x minus 4. So again, to solve, I need to take each of those parentheses, x plus 7 and x minus 4, and set them equal to 0, which just gives me two one-step equations to solve to get -7 and +4 as my two solutions. Okay, now we can't always factor, and when that happens, we have to use the quadratic formula. So here we have that quadratic formula for you here, -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So what we need to do is first identify what a, b, and c are. Here my a value is 4, b is 10, c is 25. So if I want to solve this, x is going to be equal to -10 plus or minus the square root of 10 squared minus 4 times 25 all over 2 times 4. So I'm going to get -10 plus or minus the square root of 100 minus 10 squared is 100. 4 times 4 times 25 is, come on, 400 over 8. So that's -10 plus or minus the square root of -300 over 8. Well, I have negative inside, so that means this one is going to have no real solutions. Okay, moving on. We just need to put this one in standard form, so I'm going to add that 1 over, and I've got 6x squared minus 7x minus 20 equals 0. So now I can identify a, b, and c. So putting this into my quadratic formula, I'm going to have -b, and if b is -7, that double negative is going to end up making that 7 positive. But then we'll have plus or minus the square root of -7 squared minus 4 times 6 times -20 all over 2 times 6. So like I said earlier, that 7 will become positive. Plus or minus the square root of -7 squared is 49. 4 times 6 times -20 is positive 480 all over 12. So 49 plus 480, we've got 7 plus or minus the square root of 529 over 12, and I don't think that is a perfect square, and actually it is. The square root of 529 is 23. So what I'm going to have is 7 plus 23 over 12 and 7 minus 23 over 12, and those are two actual numbers. 7 plus 23 is 30. 30 over 12 reduces to 5 over 2. And then 7 minus 23 is -16. -16 over 12 is -4/3. So there are my two solutions for my last problem. Okay, so sorry that was split up into two videos. I didn't realize my time had stopped, but now this is enough for you to practice in Delta Math on these parabolas and solving equations before you take your quiz at the end of class.